You know, so many of us spend our days caught in a web of voices. Voices that tell us who we should be, what we should value, and how we ought to measure our worth. But let me ask you this: what if those voices are wrong? What if the truth about who you are is far more extraordinary than any label, any statistic, or any expectation the world has thrown at you? I want you to understand that you were created with intention. Every part of you, every talent and every quirk, was designed by a loving creator who formed you with a purpose in mind. You are not an accident or a product of chance. You are the masterpiece of a divine artist. Imagine for a moment the care and detail that goes into creating something truly unique. A work of art, a melody, a handcrafted piece of furniture. Nothing is left to random chance. Every stroke, every note, every carved detail is there for a reason. That same care and precision went into making you. When you look in the mirror, I want you to see beyond the physical and recognize the truth of your divine design. Your value isn't determined by the fleeting standards of society or the shallow opinions of others. Your value is intrinsic, given to you by the one who created you out of pure love. Sometimes life has a way of making us forget this truth. We get weighed down by failures, mistakes, and the negative messages we've internalized over the years. It's easy to let those moments define you, to believe that you are less than what you truly are. But here's the thing: those moments do not have the power to erase the divine spark that exists within you. Instead of allowing your past to dictate your future, let it remind you of the lessons learned and the strength you gained from overcoming adversity. You are not a collection of past errors. You are a vibrant, ever-evolving expression of God's grace. I want you to think about the moments when you felt the most alive. The times when you embraced your true self, unencumbered by fear or doubt. Those moments are not coincidences. They are glimpses of the divine identity that lies within you. They are reminders that you are built for greatness, that you are meant to shine in a world that desperately needs your light. Every challenge you've faced, every trial you've endured, was there to refine you, to prepare you for the destiny you were created to fulfill. It's important to realize that recognizing your divine identity is not about becoming proud or self-centered. It's about embracing the truth of who you are so that you can walk confidently in the purpose for which you were made. When you know your true worth, you stop seeking validation from the world and start looking to the eternal source of your identity. That shift in perspective is revolutionary. It frees you from the constant comparison, the relentless striving for approval, and the nagging sense of inadequacy. Instead, you begin to live from a place of wholeness and assurance, knowing that you are cherished beyond measure. There will be times when the world's message tries to dim that light, to make you believe you are ordinary or unimportant. In those moments, hold fast to the truth that your identity is not defined by external circumstances, but by the everlasting love and purpose bestowed upon you. Let your heart be anchored in that truth. When you truly recognize that you are a beloved creation, every setback becomes an opportunity to rely on that divine strength. Every criticism loses its power because you know that your worth is not determined by human opinion, but by an unchanging truth. Consider the beauty of a garden that flourishes because it has been nurtured and cared for with intention. It grows not because it competes with the weeds, but because it was planted by a gardener who knew exactly what each seed could become. You too have been planted in a place where you are meant to grow into the person you were always meant to be. Your identity is not a work in progress to be fixed later. It is a declaration of who you are right now, a reflection of a Creator's vision and love. So today I invite you to cast aside the doubts and the negative self-talk. Embrace the reality that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, destined for a purpose that transcends the ordinary. When you recognize your divine identity, you unlock a power within that enables you to move forward with confidence, to face each challenge knowing that you are never alone, and to live in a way that reflects the truth of who you are. Recognize your divine identity, and let that truth set you free. There's a weight many of us carry that we don't even realize is holding us back. It's the weight of our past, the mistakes, the failures, and the negative labels that have been whispered into our hearts over the years. I want you to know that those things, however painful they may seem, do not define who you are today or what you're capable of becoming tomorrow. You see, our past is like a series of footprints in the sand. They tell a story of where we've been, but they are not meant to determine the path we take forward. Each day is an opportunity to leave those footprints behind and step into a new season of renewal and hope. It's so easy to become captive to the things we regret, to allow those moments to cloud the truth of our identity. You might remember that one mistake that still haunts you, or that time when you felt you fell short of your own expectations. Those memories, while real, are not the sum total of who you are. They are chapters in a book that has many more pages waiting to be written. And the beauty of it all is that forgiveness and renewal are available every single day. When you choose to let go of past limitations, you are choosing to believe in the possibility of a fresh start, one where you are no longer defined by what happened, but by the potential of what can come. I understand that letting go isn't easy. Our minds can be like a broken record, replaying old stories over and over again, convincing us that we are stuck with these labels forever. But I want you to consider this. What if you began to see those mistakes not as chains but as stepping stones? Each error, each failure has brought you wisdom and resilience. They've shaped you into the person you are today, a person who has learned, grown, and become stronger through every trial. And that strength, that wisdom, is something that no one can take away from you. It's part of your story, yes, but it is not the conclusion of your story. Imagine a seed that has been buried deep within the soil. For a time it may seem as though it is trapped in darkness, weighed down by the earth above. But beneath the surface, something miraculous is happening. The seed is gathering strength, preparing itself for the moment it will break free and blossom into a beautiful flower. In the same way, your past may feel like a heavy burden right now, but it is also the soil from which your future can grow. When you allow yourself to forgive and let go, you create space for new life, for new dreams, for a renewed sense of purpose. I want to challenge you today to look at your past not with regret or sorrow, but with a sense of understanding and compassion. Understand that every experience, every trial has led you to this very moment. And while you may have stumbled along the way, you have also risen again. You have the power to redefine your story, to see yourself through the eyes of grace and possibility. It starts with a choice. A choice to no longer let the echoes of your past dictate your worth. When you choose to forgive yourself, when you choose to release those limiting beliefs, you open yourself up to the vast potential of who you can be. It's not about erasing the past completely, for it is a part of you. Instead, it's about understanding that you are more than your past. You are a living, breathing testament to resilience. You are not a product of your failures, but a reflection of the countless times you've risen up despite them. And in that rise, you discover a freedom that is both exhilarating and transformative. That freedom is the freedom to see yourself as you truly are. A person of infinite worth, capable of endless growth and boundless love. When you let go of the weight of past mistakes, you also begin to see the world around you in a different light. The negative voices that once echoed in your mind start to fade away, replaced by a chorus of hope and possibility. You begin to recognize that every day is a new opportunity to step into the fullness of your identity, to embrace the life that was always meant for you. And as you do, you become an example to those around you, a living reminder that change is possible, that renewal is real, and that no past is too heavy to overcome. So today, I invite you to take that courageous step. Release the weight of yesterday, forgive yourself, and allow the promise of tomorrow to fill your heart with hope. Let go of the past and let your future shine. There comes a moment in life when you realize that the way you think about yourself shapes every step you take. I want you to imagine for a moment that the voice inside you, the one that speaks your self-worth and your potential, is something you can reshape, renew, and redirect. What if, instead of letting doubt seep in and fear hold you back, you choose to fill your mind with hope and confidence every day? When you begin to replace those negative thoughts with truths that reflect who you truly are, something remarkable happens. It's as if a fog lifts and you start to see yourself in the clear light of possibility. I've often seen how our internal dialogue can be our greatest adversary, or our most powerful ally. Many times, that inner voice is filled with criticism, whispering that you're not enough or that your dreams are too big. But what if that voice could be transformed? Imagine speaking to yourself as a dear friend, one who believes in your strength and sees every setback as a setup for a comeback. When you embrace a renewed mindset, you begin to understand that every negative thought is an opportunity, a chance to reclaim the narrative and replace it with a truth that aligns with the promises that have been spoken over you. Think about the moments when doubt crept in, making you question your abilities or your purpose. In those moments, ask yourself if you're hearing your own voice or if you're absorbing the noise of the world around you. The world loves to feed you messages of inadequacy, urging you to measure yourself by impossible standards. But the truth is, those messages are not from the source of your life. They are fleeting and empty. Instead, you can choose to anchor your thoughts in the eternal truths that remind you that you are loved, valued, and equipped for greatness. This is not about blind optimism. It's about a deliberate shift in perspective that comes from understanding your worth on a deep, unshakable level. When you commit to renewing your mindset, you're not just changing your thoughts, you're transforming your whole life. Every time you catch yourself in a spiral of doubt, you have the opportunity to pause and reframe the situation. You can say, "I will not let this moment define me," because you know that the promises you've embraced far outweigh the temporary struggles you face. It's in those moments of challenge that you have the chance to stand up and choose hope over despair, faith over fear. This transformation isn't instantaneous. It takes practice, commitment, and a willingness to forgive yourself when you stumble along the way. I want you to consider the power of speaking life over your own journey. It's not enough to simply acknowledge that you deserve better. You must actively believe it. As you cultivate this renewed mindset, you begin to see the truth reflected in every part of your life. The setbacks become lessons, the failures become stepping stones, and every trial transforms into an opportunity to grow. And as you do so, you start to understand that your potential is not confined by past mistakes or the limited beliefs that once held you down. Instead, you become a living testament to what can happen when you let the truth reshape your internal dialogue. It is through this process that you learn the importance of aligning your thoughts with a higher purpose. When you decide to think in ways that honor the truth of who you are, you become more intentional in every decision you make. You start to live with a confidence that is not rooted in what you have accomplished, but in the knowledge that you are enough as you are. This renewed mindset empowers you to pursue your dreams with a boldness that surprises even you, because you begin to realize that the limitations you once believed in were never truly there. They were simply illusions, waiting to be dismantled by a heart that is open to possibility. Every day offers a fresh start, a chance to silence the negative voices and replace them with the power of hope and determination. And when you choose to do this consistently, you not only change the way you see yourself, but you also change the way you experience the world. You begin to attract opportunities that resonate with your newfound self-perception, and you inspire those around you to seek the same transformation in their own lives. Your journey becomes a beacon of light for others who are still caught in the shadows of doubt. So today, I challenge you to take control of your inner dialogue. Choose to see yourself as a masterpiece in progress, a creation defined not by the mistakes of the past, but by the limitless potential of the future. Let this renewed mindset be the foundation upon which you build every dream, every relationship, and every step you take towards a life filled with purpose and promise. Embrace this change in the way you see yourself, and let it propel you into a future that exceeds even your wildest expectations. Your worth and purpose is not something that the world can measure with its fleeting accolades or shifting standards. It's a truth carved into the very fabric of your being from the moment you came into existence. A truth that no human achievement or external validation can ever diminish. Imagine for a moment a seed, so small and unassuming yet containing within it the potential for a mighty tree. That seed doesn't compare itself to the trees that tower above, until it has the chance to grow and reveal its true strength. In much the same way, you were planted with an inherent value and a purpose that transcends the momentary markers of success that society often clings to. Too often we are conditioned to believe that our worth is earned, something that must be proven through our accomplishments, our status, or the opinions of others. This way of thinking can leave you perpetually chasing after an approval that is never truly satisfying, always feeling just out of reach. But the reality is far simpler and far more liberating. Your worth isn't something to be earned, it's something to be recognized. It was bestowed upon you at the very moment you were created, imprinted into your soul by a loving and purposeful hand. You are valuable simply because you exist, not because of what you do or what others say about you. This realization is transformative. When you begin to see yourself through this lens, you no longer have to seek validation from the external world. You start to understand that every part of you, every scar, every line, every imperfection is a testament to a life that has been rich with experience and growth. These are not marks of failure, but of survival, of resilience, and of a journey that is uniquely yours. It is in these moments of truth that you come to see that your worth is rooted in something eternal, the promise that transcends the here and now. Think about the exhaustion of living a life constantly driven by the need to prove your value. It's like running on a treadmill, always pushing harder without ever reaching a place of satisfaction. But what if you could step off that treadmill? What if you could embrace the idea that you are already enough, that you are complete in yourself, regardless of what the world might say? When you make that shift, it opens up a whole new way of living. One where your actions are fueled by a deep understanding of your purpose rather than by the relentless pursuit of external success. This isn't about becoming complacent or settling for less. It's about recognizing that true fulfillment comes from within. Your purpose is not measured by the titles you hold or the numbers in your bank account. It is measured by the impact you have on those around you, by the love you share, and by the legacy you create. Every time you choose to stand firm in the knowledge of your intrinsic value, you send a powerful message to the world that your worth is not for sale, not for negotiation, and certainly not for validation by others. Living in this truth allows you to navigate life's challenges with a newfound confidence. When obstacles arise, you no longer feel crushed by the weight of expectations because you know that nothing can take away the value that has been placed in you from above. Instead, you move forward with a sense of purpose, knowing that every trial, every setback is merely a stepping stone toward the greater destiny that awaits. Your worth isn't tied to the outcome of any one situation. It is anchored in the eternal promise that you are loved and called for something significant. So I invite you to pause for a moment and look within. Let go of the need to measure your value by external means, and instead embrace the profound truth that you are inherently valuable. Recognize that you have been created for a purpose that is far greater than any earthly standard can define. As you carry this truth in your heart, let it guide your actions, your decisions, and your relationships. Trust that when you stand firmly in the knowledge of who you are, every step you take is infused with meaning, and every challenge becomes an opportunity to shine. Claim your worth and let your purpose shine through every step you take. Empowering yourself isn't something that happens by accident. It happens when you decide to take deliberate steps in faith and back that decision with action. You see, too many of us believe that transformation is a matter of waiting for circumstances to change, that our breakthroughs will come once we have all the answers. But let me tell you, faith without action is like a seed that never sees the sunlight. When you truly empower yourself, you're not just holding on to faith, you're putting that faith into motion every single day. It starts with a simple yet powerful decision to step out of your comfort zone and trust that the vision you hold in your heart is more powerful than the fears that try to hold you back. I've witnessed countless lives transformed when individuals make that choice to move forward in faith. It's about taking the first step even when the whole staircase isn't visible. You might be facing challenges that seem insurmountable, obstacles that make you want to retreat. But remember, every step you take, no matter how small, builds momentum. It creates a ripple effect that propels you into the life you're meant to live. This isn't just about grand gestures or dramatic moments of revelation. It's about the everyday choices you make to live out your truth. Consider the way a river carves its path through solid rock. It doesn't do so with a single powerful burst, but rather with persistent, gentle action. Over time, that river transforms the landscape, not because of one monumental act, but because of consistent, unwavering movement. That's exactly how you empower yourself. Each decision to act in faith, to trust even when it's hard, gradually shapes the future. You're not just passively waiting for change, you're actively participating in it. There's also a beauty in the journey itself, the process of learning, growing, and even stumbling along the way. Every time you decide to act in faith, you're saying, I believe in the promise of a better tomorrow, and I'm willing to work for it today. And that declaration, that commitment, is a powerful force that propels you forward. It reminds you that you have agency, that you are not defined by past mistakes or by the opinions of others. Instead, you are defined by the strength of your resolve and the courage it takes to step into the unknown. Sometimes, the very act of moving forward in faith can be met with resistance, from within yourself, and sometimes even from those around you. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when you question if your efforts will ever bear fruit. But it's in those moments that you must hold on even tighter. The trials you face are not signs that you're on the wrong path. They are confirmations that you're pushing past the boundaries of what is comfortable and stepping into a new level of growth. Each challenge is an invitation to trust more deeply and to act with even greater conviction. Empowering yourself through faith and action means embracing a mindset that sees every setback as an opportunity for a comeback. It means recognizing that failure is not the end but a lesson, a stepping stone on the path to success. When you make mistakes, as we all do, don't let them define you. Instead, use them as a springboard to propel you forward. Let your failures remind you that you are learning, that you are growing, and that the journey toward your destiny is full of valuable lessons. It also means surrounding yourself with a support system that encourages you to keep moving forward. Whether it's friends, family, or a community that shares your vision, having people who believe in you can make all the difference. They remind you that you're not in this alone, that there's strength in unity, and that your actions can inspire others to take steps toward their own breakthroughs. In a way, every time you act in faith, you're not just changing your own life. You're igniting a spark that can transform the lives of those around you. And here's another essential truth. Empowerment through faith and action is not about having all the answers. It's about trusting that the answers will come as you move forward. It's about stepping into the unknown with the assurance that even if you stumble, the support of a higher purpose will catch you and lift you up. When you commit to this journey, you begin to see that your actions are a reflection of your inner strength, a testament to the fact that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. So today I invite you to embrace this powerful truth. Choose to empower yourself by taking those deliberate steps in faith, regardless of the uncertainties that lie ahead. Let your actions speak to the strength within you, and let them pave the way for a future filled with promise and possibility. Step forward in faith and let your actions create the life you envision. When you begin to live out your transformed identity, you open a doorway to a life that reflects the deepest truth of who you are. It's not just an internal change, it's an outward expression of the newfound clarity and strength within you. Imagine waking each day with the awareness that you are no longer confined by old limitations, that every choice you make is an opportunity to embody the person you've become. When you let your inner transformation guide your actions, relationships, and decisions, you create a ripple effect that touches every aspect of your world. Living out your transformed identity means shedding the weight of what others once imposed on you and stepping into a role that is uniquely yours. It starts with a simple decision to embrace the truth that you are valuable and capable beyond measure. This truth is not conditional. It isn't based on past mistakes or external validation. It's an inherent quality that comes from within, a deep-seated knowledge that you are created with a purpose. When you let that truth shine, you radiate confidence and authenticity. Every interaction, every decision becomes an opportunity to affirm who you are and to inspire others to do the same. There are moments when old patterns and doubts try to creep back in. In those moments, it's crucial to remember that transformation is not a one-time event. It's a continuous journey of self-discovery and growth. Each day offers a fresh start, a new opportunity to reinforce the person you are becoming. You might face challenges or encounter setbacks that tempt you to retreat into the familiar shadows of your past. But these moments are also invitations to rise, to let your renewed perspective guide you through adversity. The more you practice living out your transformed identity, the more natural it becomes, until it permeates every fiber of your being. Consider the power of your everyday choices. When you consciously decide to speak kindly to yourself, to act with integrity, and to pursue goals that align with your inner truth, you are actively living out your transformed identity. These choices might seem small, but they accumulate over time to create a life that truly reflects who you are. They send a powerful message not only to the world but also to your own heart, that you are enough and you are worthy of every good thing life has to offer. Imagine the impact of stepping into your true self without reservation. Whether you're engaging in your career, nurturing relationships, or pursuing a passion, you become a living testimony of what it means to be fully alive. Your energy shifts, and people around you begin to see a spark, a light that was always there, waiting to be recognized. When you live in alignment with your transformed identity, you not only change your own life, but also become an example for others. Your courage to be authentic can inspire those who may be struggling with their own sense of self-worth, showing them that transformation is possible and that every day holds the promise of renewal. It's important to celebrate these milestones along your journey. Each time you overcome an old habit, each time you make a decision that honors your true self, you are paving the way for a future that reflects your highest potential. Celebrate those moments. They are proof of your progress and reminders that your efforts are making a real difference. Living out your transformed identity is not about perfection, it's about persistence. About showing up every day and choosing to be the best version of yourself, regardless of the challenges that come your way. There may be times when you feel overwhelmed by the magnitude of change, when the world around you seems to be pulling you back into old ways of thinking. In those moments, take a step back and reconnect with the core truth of who you are. Remind yourself that the transformation you've experienced is real, and it has the power to guide you through any storm. It's about finding that balance between introspection and action, nurturing your inner strength while boldly stepping out into the world to share your light. When you live out your transformed identity, you create a legacy that goes beyond personal success or fleeting accolades. Your life becomes a beacon of hope and possibility, a reminder that change is not only possible, but essential for growth. Every time you choose authenticity over conformity, you contribute to a larger movement of individuals reclaiming their worth and purpose. This is the kind of living that changes lives, that transforms communities, and that echoes far beyond the boundaries of your own experience. Live out your transformed identity and let your light shine through every step you take.